Ransom and Disaster. This is Will Carey. I hope you're having a good day wherever you might be. Let's talk a little bit today before we head into the interview. My guest on the show today is comedian, Arsenal fan, film fan, Momoh Pujeh, and me and Momo talked it was probably one of the more in-depth conversations I've had about soccer since I've been back and into it and actively paying attention, which was nice to kind of learn a bit more from someone who really follows the game intensely the way Momo does. And before we get to the conversation, I want to first quickly plug my one-man show I'm going to be doing at the People's Improv Theater Loft space on June 9th at 9 p.m. I'm going to be doing my one-man show, Laughing Through the Sad. Tickets are $5, and I'm trying to sell out this theater. It would be the first time I've sold a venue out in 8 or 9 years of doing comedy. So if you're able to make it, if you're in the New York City area, that is June 9th. Tickets are available at the PIT Loft's website, and I will post the link for tickets in the description. I hope you guys can make it. I'd appreciate you seeing there. Now let's go to my conversation with my buddy Momoh Pujeh. Thank you for listening. The Vancouver Grizzlies moved from Vancouver to Memphis.
Yeah.
Which I thought was strange.
I don't know why they kept the Grizzlies part. Like, are there a lot of grizzly bears in Memphis,
Well, I
Tennessee?
think when I think of Canada, I definitely think of bears. But Memphis, I don't know anything about. But I imagine they're not known for their wildlife.
No, I think their wildlife is basically the extras in what was that movie? Hustle and Flow.
Yeah, Hustle and Flow. I thought that was in Atlanta.
Hustle and Flow? I thought that was Tennessee. Well, didn't whatchamacallit do it? 3 6 Mafia? Aren't they from Tennessee?
Oh yeah, they might be. I haven't paid attention to hip hop in such a long time.
You're not really missing much.
That's what I hear. I said this. I had Patrick Hasty in here yesterday. I told him, and I've told a few other people, I stopped paying attention to rap when all the rappers started sounding like they had just shot Novocaine into their face. Like
just cocaine. That's what cocaine does.
Oh yeah, you get
copious amounts of cocaine.
You get kind of mumble mouthed, and all the words just fall out of your face.
Ooh, and lean. Lean is a killer. Lean is terrible.
What's lean?
Lean is promethazine.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
So pharmaceuticals. Oh, everyone's on pharmaceuticals now.
Oh yeah. I mean, why would you waste your time not being on pharmaceutical drugs? Like, it's like the designer of designers.
Yeah. Well, I'm a softie, and so I'm doing your caffeines and lack of sleep. That's what I get high
Responsibility.
on. That's what I get high on nowadays, Momo.
I actually know I know someone who is naturally, just enthusiastic or what have you. He's like, Momo, I'm just high on life. It's like, you should try it sometime, and it's terrifying to be high on life because you can't turn that off. At least like my drug wears off. If you're fucked up off life, you gotta start failing or something.
Exactly. I found that like naturally enthusiastic people, my first instinct is that they're full of shit in some way. Like, I have a good friend who, the first time I met him, he's so like upbeat and positive about everything. I was like, what are you up to?
Where's the darkness, man? There's no balance.
Gotta find the darkness. I wonder if that's too many years in New York or what.
I think Nietzsche came up with it way before we could have conceived of New York. Like, there's always been darkness or somebody writing about it, or just everyone doubts the naturally positive person. You have to. I mean, Iago and Othello.
Yeah.
It's like, he's your friend. He's all cool. He's always got a smile on his face. You got a dude plotting to murder
exactly.
you. Yeah.
Yeah. Or if you want to go, staying on the Shakespeare hit, if if your uncle all of a sudden is married to your mom.
Hey,
it's like, oh, my dad just died.
Yeah. Well, let the corpse get cold first.
Yeah, exactly. Just be respectful.
Yeah. I mean, if I'm fucking my brother's wife, I mean, 24 hours, 23 hours. You got to get that first nut in.
Yeah. Just get it right in under the wire. Yeah, because it's exciting that way.
Yeah, man. And then now a day later, like this dude's already atrophied. It's gross.
Exactly.
I want his body twitching and me thinking.
Oh, I think that might be
the food.
Might be. Hold on 1 second. We'll edit point now.
What?
Yeah. Hi. Oh, sir. Thank you very much. And that's the kind of quick delivery that makes my favorite Thai place in this neighborhood.
They already gone. Like they already knew what you wanted to order prior to you ordering.
Right. So, Momoh, this is. I'm glad you're doing this, because this is like, I think, the first time we'll have had like a long conversation, because like I see you in passing, and I'm trying to think of the first time I met you. I can't remember where it was. It's probably, I'm thinking, at the creek, possibly.
I would say I've met 95% of everyone I know in comedy at the creek.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's sort of like I think it's like my Comedy Store in the 80s, that place.
Word.
It's sort of like
the hub.
The hub. Yeah. Exactly. And then the other really good memory I have of you is, because I'm a relative novice to following the Premier League. Okay. Is that you kind of shamed me for picking Chelsea FC, because I liked, because I picked them. I was like, oh, the lead singer of my favorite band likes them. Well, before I started actually following the league, I thought, oh, okay, well, they must be the cool team.
What year was this?
This was probably like 2008. So it was late. But then as I learned more and more, I go, oh no, this is in line with like all of my morals as like a modern intellectual New York type.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah. Well, it's almost like moving to New York just to cheer for the Yankees. It's like gross.
Yeah.
Like gross.
Right. It's like if you grew up with the Yankees in some way. If it's then if it's organic. Because there's that whole thing of like, I don't want to be considered like a glory hunter.
There it is.
In any way.
Yeah.
Like if it's
Patriots fans, like what?
Right. Like if I started liking the Patriots now, it would be completely false. The most successful team, like, because being in New York, I cheer for the local New York team, American team, but then like Lionel Messi is what got me excited about the game again.
Word.
And like following FC Barcelona, but the fact that I've actually seen FC Barcelona live and almost gotten beaten up at an FC Barcelona game, so I feel like I've earned Espanyol fans.
Ooh, yeah, they care a lot. Yeah. Were you wearing Barca?
I was wearing Barca at Espanyol Stadium.
Yeah, why would you?
Didn't realize that was a derby.
Yeah.
Probably would have.
I wouldn't do that ever.
Well, because it's like in America, you can wear, you could.
But they have a section. And were you at? Were you in Barca or were you in at Espanyol?
I was at Espanyol Stadium.
Crazy. Were you sitting in the Barca section?
We No.
No, no.
Well, what we
Well,
did
yeah.
was because we saw the like line. My girlfriend and I see the lines of police vans and like heavily armored
Yeah.
cops, and
Yeah.
then so we just ducked into the Espanol gift shop and
Why?
went undercover for the game.
I would have just taken off that shirt immediately.
No, that's what I did.
Yeah. I would wear pants as a shirt. I don't give a shit. Like, yeah,
Well,
like-
because it's like taken it is so seriously. It's not
Yes.
just I like this team. This like team's a part of my family.
it's history, all the ups and downs that we've shared as a family, and we remember this moment and that moment and that. They all play soccer. Everybody plays it. I mean, I'm not a Barcelona fan personally. Like, I love Lionel Messi. I think he's an incredible athlete. You know, the greatest soccer player ever. You know,
Yeah.
quite possibly. At least the greatest I've ever seen. Just what he can do individually is just out of control.
Totally.
But like, I just never cheered for them for almost the same reason. It's like, all right, well, they were so great, and it's like I got into football before that. Like, even had an opinion of Barcelona back when like Henri went there after playing for Arsenal.
Right.
So it's like my disdain for them is kind of because of that. It's like, oh, he left for
For the other team.
Yeah, you know
so it's
that.
like, so you're not going to like them.
Yeah.
That makes
got
that
a
makes
new
sense.
bitch now. You're Jennifer Aniston. You see that? It's like, yeah, it's,
No, that makes sense. And
Yeah.
then as I going back to the Chelsea FC thing, as I learned more about how much of a dick Jose Mourinho is.
oh my god, I hate that guy.
And
Just the way he plays the game. Like, it's the most frustrating. Just aesthetically, it's displeasing. It's so gross.
yeah.
Just literally park the bus. Like,
Yeah.
we will have 12 people in front of the net. Ugh.
Is that what park the bus means?
Yeah, just put
Yeah,
the
just-
entire team bus in front of
Just put
front
the
of goal.
entire team in
Yeah.
front of the net, and then and that's what I think when people cite soccer as being boring.
Yep.
They're talking about that tactic specifically.
Yeah, well, it's like it's if they counterattack and they counterattack well, then it could look cool, because then it's like, all right, they let them get deep, but then boom, they're off to the races and there's one dude.
Right.
But there was a very long time where like they would literally be playing for a 1-0. All right, so they'd go up 1-0 within like 25 minutes, you know, just like press super hard, cause a mistake, or just get a free kick and score off a header or some shit like that.
Sure.
Right? And then for the following 80 minutes, you know, of the game with extra time in both halves, it would just be every single player from Chelsea behind like the 40, except for like one who's hanging at the 50, and then like just taking away space. They would let them, and then the other team was just kicking it from side to side, trying to break it, and then they would just boot it down, not caring that one guy would chase. They'd press up a little bit and then just immediately fall right back. Let them advance into a point. One guy's now charging to take. It's like I get it. It's very successful.
Yeah.
Except when you play Barcelona and you have someone like Messi and
Yeah, who
Xavi
can I think cough and score a goal.
Oh my
I
God.
think Lionel Messi can like literally just like I think he could like kick the ball the totally opposite direction and it would
come
bounce
back.
off of something and come back.
I love watching his highlight reels and shit.
Yeah.
Very impressive.
Just the stuff he can do is incredible. And I've heard this said because Barcelona are known for like tiki taka, like the ball's always moving, passing around, and I think Arsenal gets because you're an Arsenal guy, gets a bit of comparisons to that for that similar style. When did your love of Arsenal start?
With Thierry Henry, like way back when, like they had the Invincibles. I believe that was '97.
Yeah.
And that was like the greatest team ever seen. No team has done it in any other league before or since. And they were just the best, like hands down. But it was especially impressive because of Thierry Henry, and like World Cup '98 was about to come, I
Yeah.
believe, or Euro Cup or some shit had just happened too. and I played soccer as growing up,
Mm-hmm.
but I would never see anything. And the first thing you see is this cool black dude in a sport that you don't really know anyone's name.
Right.
And he's just like the man, killing it, doing all the tricks that you see
Yeah.
done. He's faster. He'll volley it from 35 yards out, bullet, rocket, top shelf.
Mm-hmm.
And then they go and become great. Like, they weren't that team the year before. When I first heard about them, then they won. Then I was like, oh, yeah, I love this shit.
Right.
And, I mean, it's just the most aesthetically pleasing. Like, they do tiki-taka in a different way. Like, their game is just beautiful. Like, it's pass, goal. But tiki-taka is more like duck, 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 duck. And it's like guys probing for space. This guy's making a run when this guy takes up the space that just was vacated. Like, I watched this really interesting video on tiki-taka. It was Pep Guardiola talking, or like Pep Guardiola like expressing his admiration for Sergio Busquets, whatever his name is, Busquets. Apparently, if you were to watch all the tape, he has like almost hockey assists.
Yeah.
So it's like he's putting the ball to the guy who's making the assist, obviously, right?
Sure.
So, or gets credited for the assist. But it's all about his space because he's the pivot of all of it. So it's like radar. Like,
yeah.
Where he is determines where everyone is, where everyone else goes, and how they all react to each other. He's the one who's like orchestrating the whole thing. So this guy's making a run behind the line, obviously offsides, but they're reacting to him. This guy's now cutting into his space. He's making a pass to that guy. The guy on that end is now coming down, forcing the line to go down because he is onside.
Right.
And when that one defender makes a mistake, that guy's come back onside to come from that guy to score a goal. Like, because that's really what's happening
Right.
in real time.
It's like a misdirect.
Yep.
And then it's a misdirect into the, and then
Counter
you don't
trap.
see it.
Yeah, now you don't see it. Yeah.
It's like military tactics almost.
It's brilliant. And that's why I think soccer is the most inventive, beautiful game.
Oh yeah, no, I agree. Like, even like if people like complain about it being a low scoring game, it's not. If you like actually look at like what goes on, it's really fascinating. It's really, really fascinating.
It's fought in the trenches. There is game upon game upon game being played. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, at any time you can have a game being played that's obviously the big picture. And then you can have this striker who's just constantly trying to slip in between seams. That's another game that the big picture now devolves into. You could also now have a defense that will just stop you, and that's a game that's being played, and then 1v1, and then there's triangles, and there's like, you know what I mean? Like, there's
Totally.
just everywhere. And if you take your eye off of one guy, he just scored a goal. That's what happened with like Brazil versus Germany in the World Cup.
Yeah, I remember that game.
Yeah, don't pay attention to that one guy. Goal, 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 goal. Like, you gotta
and
play it up here.
Exactly. And the German teams have just like a very cold, ruthless efficiency. It's like, I will score on you and you will cry.
And I will go into this position, and if you're not paying attention, it's ding, ding, goal.
Yeah.
And
Before you even know what happened.
Yeah.
The game's restarted. You're still back there.
Yeah.
Don't know what's going on.
Wenger, or Arsene Wenger, on the other hand, it's like the ball just flows. Everything flows with itself. Like, instead of a da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da type of game, it's like, hoo, hoo, zoo, 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 goal. Like, it's that type of a thing. Or you have someone who's just blessed with the talent of the gods, like Henry or Robert Pires from like back in the day, or Bergkamp from back in the day, and these guys they were the Zidane and Messi's and Ronaldo's, like, that's who they were. And
Totally.
I hate Man United. I hate Chelsea.
Does that play into, because the other thing that you said to me, and I want to get into, and I want to get into this a little bit more before, and then I also want to get into you, because I know you, but I don't feel like I know you super well yet. Another thing you told me was like, oh man, you can't, Chelsea, well, that's rich London. You can't root for rich London. Yeah. And then the thing I like about soccer is more so than like basketball. The only equivalent, I would think, is the story of the Green Bay Packers and how they're mostly fan owned.
The people.
Soccer, more the clubs are more, the fans and the supporters are a bigger part of the story and the history, as well as like sort of like the, I guess, if you have more working class ethic versus
who can afford to go to your games, who wants to cheer for that team, what is the identity of your fan base,
right,
honestly. Like,
exactly. Well, do you know about AFC Wimbledon?
I mean, weren't they like a 70s club that like 79 they won they used to be really, really good, right? Like,
Yeah, they won, I think they won the FA Cup, but their owners moved them to Milton Keyes and they became a team called the MK Dons, which I think are just got relegated to like League One. And the Wimbledon fans were like, no, screw you. You can't just take our team and move it 70 miles away. So they made their own team from scratch and then started at the very bottom in like the continental regional team. And they're I think they're going to get into the league. They're in League Two right now, but they worked their way up to League Two.
Fantastic.
It's a really inspiring story, and it's like the fans got together and they held tryouts, and then they just built their own club back, which I think is really cool. And John Green is working on a movie about that story.
Is that John Green from the Big Green?
John Green from the Fault in Our Stars.
I don't even know
that movie. He's a young adult novel writer, but his movies like make bank.
What?
So did Arsenal's more working class roots, when did that play into your
That's what
appreciation of them?
Solidified my appreciation of them. I mean, obviously, when you're young, it's what's entertaining to you. But the more I played soccer and I understood what it meant and like what playing it meant and how you can communicate with people who can't speak the same language as you, but you can now see the same thing, and it becomes like a shared language. It's like, yeah, it's of the people, man. It's for poor people all around the world. Poor people play soccer.
Yeah.
Everywhere you go. It doesn't matter where you go. Poor kids are making a soccer ball out of a motherfucking plastic bags tied together. It's like
right.
It doesn't matter. It's like everywhere you go around the world, except for America because we're so rich, but almost everywhere else in the world, kids are playing soccer, right?
Yeah.
So it's, if Arsenal to me just like epitomized let's go get it attitude, let's work type of people, and in Africa it's a huge club as well.
Oh yeah. I could see that. So you grow up playing soccer. Where did you grow up?
I grew up in South Jersey.
Okay.
Wellingboro, Burlington County. Played a ton of CYO soccer, school soccer, or whatever.
Right on. Okay, so you're playing soccer, and what part of is that part of Jersey like more of a city? Is it more suburbs?
Oh no, that's straight suburbs. I moved to Philly when I was 8.
That's right. You spent time in Philly because I had Dan King on as well, and he was like, "Oh, you got to talk to Mom." I was like, "Okay, all right." So you grew up so you're 8 and you're in Philadelphia. What's your family life like at that time?
Oh, geez, awful. Yeah, really, really bad.
Okay,
yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that. There's a lot of chaos in your house.
Oh, terrible. Yeah.
Oh, sorry to hear that. Do you have like brothers and sisters? Anyone that you're like leaning on?
Oh no, I have 2 sisters. One sister that's eldest. She was in Dartmouth, and then another sister who's just 2 years older than me.
Okay. All right. And what are they up to now?
Eldest sister owns a store in Albany.
Oh, who else is at my door?
Yeah, right.
It's popular. I think everyone heard that you were coming.
Yeah, was the Creek having a pig roast this week?
On Sunday, it's the pig roast and the mac and cheese cook-off.
Oh, word. I can't wait for that.
Yeah, that should be pretty good. My girlfriend's entering a mac and cheese.
Oh, word?
It's going to be pretty awesome. She won last year.
No, I recall. That's why I just said, oh, word.
Right.
Every sensation of flavor just was like, okay.
Oh, yeah. No, what she made last year was just, oh my god.
Is she repeating the same recipe?
Going with something slightly different.
The variation, the twist. There's a plot twist now.
Yeah, you'll have to.
You're gonna have a purist out there, just like, no, this is all I came for. Yeah.
It's gonna be good. Sorry about that. It's
No, it's okay.
Okay, so you're growing up in, and I'll go as deep as you want to go, but like, what's 8 years old in Philly playing recreational soccer? So is there what are mom and dad up to at this point?
Separated. Mom is a teacher for the Community College of Philadelphia and taught psychology there.
Mm-hmm.
Fourth grade, I guess, is when I was actually there. It was over that summer. Just went to school.
Yeah. So just going to school, playing soccer. How does comedy come into it?
Many years later, I guess.
So you didn't really. So growing up, it was just soccer.
Well, no, I mean, I had tons of interest. I'm interested in anything and everything. But when I guess growing up, I was funny. Mm-hmm. Always was creative, like writing, making stories and stuff like that. Just majored in it, moved out to LA, met people who are doing really well right now, and convinced me to even consider it, and now I'm doing it.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay, so I kind of want to go through this, and then we'll. Okay, so a lot of people know. So you ended up going to school for writing.
Mm-hmm.
And where'd you go to school, in Philly?
Yeah, I went to Drexel University.
Okay, I know Drexel. So English major, creative writing,
Screenwriting.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Okay, I minored in I majored in theater because I was like, I want to be an actor. Mm-hmm. But then after after a failed audition for the acting track at my college, I was like, well, maybe I'll do general studies and I'll pick up film as well, because that's like in the same ballpark.
Yeah.
Okay, so you were looking to be a screenwriter?
Yeah, I still want to be a screenwriter. I don't want to be a comic. Fuck that.
I know. I definitely know why you would feel that, because there are some nights where it's just like, why do I keep putting myself through this?
Oh no, I don't mind that. It's just my talents are best suited for writing. Like the way that I conceive of ideas, how I work with others, it's just best suited for it. I mean, I do pretty well in comedy. I don't see myself ever not doing it, but if I want to do a thing, I'd prefer to be writing.
Okay. Can you tell me, like, if you remember, like, your lightning bolt screenwriting moment? Was there like a movie you saw or something like that?
In what sense? What do you mean lightning bolt? Aha.
Like an epiphany.
An epiphany?
Was there like a moment when you're like, I want to do that?
I mean, every movie I ever saw when I was younger, it's just like, this is great. Like, I'd love to. I always imagined my own stories. I always thought of things that would be funny, things that could happen, and what would happen when it happened, and how people would react to that happening. And it's like, I just like a good story. Like,
okay.
I mean, if there's something that was like an aha moment, I mean, probably the first time I got Eternal Sunshine for the Spotless Mind.
Love that movie.
Yeah, it's a great
movie.
It's like when it finally clicked and I understood like really what was happening and how many layers were being expressed simultaneously. It was just like noise at first, but then I understood what was happening. It was just like, oh, so you could tell a story that deep.
Yeah.
On film, with film. And then, you just start. I have a very, very close friend of mine. It's like my big brother, James Levine. He put me onto every great movie, every great director. So he would just be like, "No, watch
like all the classics.
Yeah, watch this, watch that, check this out." Yeah, so
fantastic.
Yeah, I love film.
Cool. Yeah. Were there like any big sports movies that?
That were
remember-
aha or that I enjoyed?
or that you enjoyed, because I'm trying to.
Yeah, I loved
Trace
the Big
those two.
Green when I was a kid.
Me too.
That was great. Mighty Ducks was great. Little Giants was great. Sandlot was great. I mean, they were all good in their way. What was my favorite sports movie?
Yeah, the ones I always say too, like other than like Remember the Titans, like the kid sports movies are the ones I think are just perfect. Like they have they tell the arc of everything you would want
Through
to
an
experience.
adult's point of view, reminiscing about his childhood, it just gets every age group. It's brilliant. I'm trying to think, like, what was my favorite sports movie?
Because I remember The Big Green. That was a good one.
I remember enjoying that heavily. I remember seeing Air Bud and being thoroughly entertained. That's a
Air Bud.
Dog playing basketball. What can't you like about that? Trying to think. Yeah, I mean, Remember the Titans is too somber. Like, I remember enjoying it as a film, but I was like, I'm not watching that shit again. Are you fucking crazy? Like, I don't want to experience, like, I don't...
It's very heavy for the kind of triumphant story it's telling.
I mean, I get emotional things and I get how impactful they are, but I really do not need to be reminded more than one time. Like, once it hits, it hit. Yeah, I don't need to.
Right.
I don't need to go there again.
You just
like, yeah,
just live with that.
Point made. Like, you know, it's not like I'm going to erase it from my memories. Like, oh, when somebody brings up a movie, I'm like, ooh, yeah, I ain't watching that shit again. The Sixth Man. Even though that's a comedy, but like when he died, his brother died, I'm like, holy shit, this is too much.
Right.
Marlon Wayans and I think Kadeem Harrison, maybe.
Something like that. Yeah, I can't remember his name.
Oh, my favorite sports movie was Cool Runnings.
Yeah.
Most definitely the best sports movie. Just
absolutely.
time after time. It's great.
Yeah, that movie is just I want to watch that movie again. That's how good that movie is. That's like the kind of thing like that the triumphant even in losing kind of thing. Like it's funny that you bring that up because in La Liga, and I know this is going to put a bit of a timestamp on this, but in La Liga this past weekend, I think we touched upon this briefly. So Atletico Madrid would have to you basically win, and then Barcelona need to mess up in order to get the title. But the already relegated Levante beat them with an injury time goal, and even though they're still going down, they fucked up
everything,
their title chances.
So now isn't it just Barcelona and Real?
Yeah, basically
Real still has a shot, maybe.
Maybe, but Barcelona would have to lose to Granada, which again could happen. Something crazy could happen, but it seems likely that Barcelona are gonna.
The Champions League finals, who? Atletico and Real?
Atletico and Real, yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I would have put my money on
like Barcelona and Madrid
Bayern. Yeah.
or Bayern, yeah.
Atletico is a great team. Yeah. I really like their coach. I like the way they play. I like playing with them in FIFA. I'm a Torres fan. I like Fernando Torres. I like them. Even when he was on Chelsea, I liked him. Like Chelsea, don't get me wrong, they had Drogba, and he's from Côte d'Ivoire. That's right next door to my parents' country. So it's like I always looked up to him too. I thought he was great. Him and Henry were my two favorite players, and Lampard. I like Lampard too.
I like Lampard as well. I don't vibe with the rabid anti-Lampard sentiment that's starting to spread through New York City FC's fan base.
No, what? Because he's now a drunk.
Well, because
he shit about soccer.
Well, because he just hasn't played.
He hasn't played at all
this season. No, he hasn't played a single minute. Yeah, like
what's his injury?
They say a calf strain or something like that.
Doesn't feel like playing.
Yeah, it's getting vaguer and vaguer as time goes on.
Is it close to playoff time?
In MLS?
Yeah.
No, playoffs for MLS are not going to start, I think, until like October.
So then he's not going to start playing until August? Like, you got to think about it.
Yeah.
Why would Frank Lampard put himself through the rigors of playing this JV scrub horse shit that he's used to? You know what I mean?
Right. And he's also going to be a TV analyst for Euro in June, so he'll be gone for a month.
So he already knows what he's doing. He's going to play a couple games before he leaves. Then he's going to re-aggravate his injury. Go over there. They're going to be like, hey, Frank, you're healing up. You're looking pretty good. And he's just going to be like, you know what I mean? Like on the camera, not caring. And, yeah, call that shit. I'd much rather call the Euro Cup than play in the MLS.
Yeah. That seems to be the scent.
Yeah.
the sentiment.
I mean, Kaká's in it now, right?
Yeah, Kaká's playing for Orlando.
How's he doing?
He's doing pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's been a couple of crazy referee mishaps.
Well, that's why the game stinks. Listen, I can't watch MLS games at all. I can't watch them. I mean, if it's not a technique disparity, then it's an ingenuity and ability disparity. And then even when you get those two things clicking, like I remember seeing there was a Seattle Sounders. I was at a bar. It was like the Seattle Sounders and whatever team Jermaine Defoe was on. So it's like technique, you know, just like you have Clint Dempsey, who at least has class of a certain level. And
yeah. Is this when Obafemi Martins was still on the Sounders?
Couldn't tell you.
Okay.
I mean, apparently somebody in my distant family, Kamara, is in the MLS.
Oh yeah, Kai Kamara, he plays for Columbus Crew.
It's like somehow related to that guy. Anywho,
interesting.
Yeah,
I would never have guessed that.
Kamara is like part of my family tree. This when the technique doesn't fail you, the ability doesn't fail you, it's gonna be the refereeing, because it's like, dude, put your card away. What are you doing? That's a red card. Why are you not looking obviously in that direction? That is obviously offsides. Like,
right. That's the big complaint, is they either they give red cards for everything, or they give nothing. And
they can't call offsides for shit.
Yeah, no. I mean, I'm so glad that when the Chicago Fire came to, because basically when Chicago came and played at Yankee Stadium, it was a 0-0 draw, but Chicago scored a goal, and basically Via had to go over and tell the ref it was offsides, like Via and the fourth official.
Yeah.
So that's where I get frustrated sometimes, but I'm just so elated that there's a soccer team located in the 5 boroughs, because I grew up in like suburban Maryland, like an hour and a half from DC, so I don't feel like I can claim DC United by like hometown origin. But New York City FC I can.
I would have claimed DC United. Do they have Landon? Or no, they didn't have Landon. They had some players, right?
Yeah, they did. They were very good
for a period of time.
Yeah.
I mean, Landon was on the Galaxy. With,
Galaxy.
Beckham at one point. Did they ever win the title?
LA Galaxy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they won it like 5 times.
Really?
Yeah. They've
like
won
the
it a lot.
best
DC United. LA have won it a lot. DC have won it a lot. Last year.
Did they win it with Beckham, though?
I couldn't tell you.
Okay.
Maybe. Like, Beckham was like. It's like I'm pretty sure Beckham could have just played himself and done all right.
But he left there to then go to PSG, and he was balling at PSG too. Like, he was really good. I used to play with them in FIFA when he left, and I was like, oh shit, this is how good this guy is. Like, still, like, because FIFA is the most true to life thing. It's I love it. I could watch soccer. I could watch people play FIFA. It's
nice.
Great.
You might want to check out, and I was talking about AFC Wimbledon a second ago. The author who's part of who's writing that movie, he's also very popular on YouTube doing vlog stuff, and he did this like series of Let's Plays with FIFA. He's not very good at it, but he just makes up the characters, and it's kind of entertaining.
Okay.
And so he'd get millions of views, and then he would donate the money to AFC Wimbledon so he could sponsor. I think he sponsored the back of their shorts is what he ended up doing. It's like just nowhere, like the like no YouTube star is gonna like help out like the Pittsburgh Pirates
Ever.
Like, it's just like one of those
they're
like
a company, they're a corporation. Like,
yeah, it's just like one of those crazy ridiculous things. So you lived in LA for a while also?
Yeah, I was out in LA from. I went there first in college. Then after I graduated from college, I went back over there. Um, Worked at a production company out there.
Mm-hmm.
Then got a job with an agency for a little bit.
Like a talent agency?
Yeah. Then.
Okay. Like, what were you doing there?
Bitch work.
Oh yeah, making copies, stapling.
Yeah, whatever you got to do.
Totally.
I mean, whatever they ask you to do, you do it.
Oh yeah, no, I've been there.
Yeah.
I know all about that.
Then, I just was fortunate to know people out there, and a lot of them just gave me guidance and just got me to wisen up, move back out to the East Coast, grow up a little bit. I'm just gonna do comedy out here for a little while longer.
Mm-hmm.
And
Were
then
you doing
reevaluate.
Were you doing comedy in LA?
No.
So it's just film stuff in LA. So your friend. So you decided you're going to move to New York and focus on doing comedy.
Yeah.
Okay. When was that?
2011.
Okay.
2011, I moved back to the East Coast. I was living in Philly first. I was in Philly just, trying to figure out what the hell am I doing. I was depressed because I left the West Coast and East Coast. It was
kind of
in comparison.
Kind of in limbo. Yeah.
Then moved to Jersey City. Was in Jersey City for a while. Still didn't start doing comedy yet. Started doing comedy like late 2011 into 2012. Moved to Brooklyn in 2012, and then I've now, just been here.
And then just doing, yeah, I know it, just going through the thing.
Yeah, I mean, just you move from one place to another, to another, to another. Just get better. Just try to be better.
Mm-hmm. And you're thinking, and has the stand-up helped you with your with script writing?
Yeah, because I think my understanding of what's funny has gotten better.
Mm-hmm.
Like scenarios and moments and the immediacy of explaining things concisely. Like that plays a much better part. But I mean, simultaneously, I've just grown up. I've become a man. I'm not a child anymore.
Sure.
Read more, you learn more, you experience more, and I mean, has the comedy made the writing better? Has the writing made the comedy better? Has growing up made both? Like
it's all kind of
all interconnected.
Yeah, definitely. So, what would you want to? So you're looking to write and direct, or would you just want to write?
Just want to write. Don't even want to be head writer. Just want to be the dude that people say his opinion is funny. Let's get Momo's opinion on this. Like, that's it.
Right on.
Like more producer-ish, I guess, than active staff writer, because that's basically all producers do.
Right.
They just sit in at the table, read like, nah, what if this? You did this, and it's like,
yeah. So you want to be kind of like the conductor of the writer's room, but like not.
No, I don't even want to be showrunner. I just want to be a producer. I want to be a person that it's like, all right, so now we're doing our final table read. We have everybody in the room now, and just be able to be like, all right, yeah. So on page 3, like, what about this? Be like, yeah, I agree. Yeah, that is better, and like being able to just give input on more of a final product and have influence in how the overall story is contrived, I guess, instead of grinding out page after page after page. But obviously, to get to that level, I'm gonna have to grind out thousands and thousands and thousands of pages first. So it's a journey. It's all good.
Killer, man. That's all. That's awesome. So I'm trying to think. This is good. This is coming in. Coming in nicely. I think I just want to trying to think what we'd go over next. Is there anything you feel like we haven't gone over?
Nah, man. life philosophy. I don't know. So,
Yeah. No, I like that stuff too. I'm always looking for better ways to live.
There are no accidents. There are no mistakes. It's the easiest way to live through life. Nothing. Everything. Yeah, it's what it is happening. Like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think? So switch gears real quick. Do you think Pep's gonna just come in and dominate next season? This is for anyone who doesn't know Pep Guardiola, who's currently the coach or manager of Bayern Munich.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of like the Darth Vader of soccer. He just kind of comes in and just dominates.
I like him as a personality. He's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's a dope dude. Like, I don't have a reason not to like him. He's literally the anti Jose Mourinho. Like, he's a big team guy. He's trying to get people on his side. But, like, at Bayern, apparently there was, like, a mole in the locker room or some shit. And it kind of sabotaged him several times. He got into it with, like, the staff. And people were actively rooting for him to fail because they didn't like how he played, how he thought of soccer. And he wasn't one of them, you know?
Right.
That was a big issue for them. But, I mean, I think he ultimately will be successful, but the team as it is now is not to his advantage. Like, you have someone like Torre, right?
Mm-hmm.
Torre used to be on Barcelona.
Yeah.
Pep Guardiola got rid of Yaya Torre from the team, from the greatest show on turf. You know what I mean? That type of shit. You think he's gonna want to stick around with him at the end of his career when he didn't even want him back then for what he's trying? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's an issue. He's a crowd favorite. He's a legend of the club.
Mm-hmm.
Now what? Now you also have like just aging or people who are gonna be out of favor with him. Samir Nasri. What are you gonna do with him?
Mm-hmm.
Is Pep gonna want him or not? You have Raheem Sterling. You have all these people who are on this team that couldn't quite make it over the hill for one reason or another.
Yeah.
Their key players are getting older and more injured as time goes on. He's going to have to create a system for them. I think he's definitely going to finish top 5.
Okay.
And I think that'll just be on know-how.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like these players are out of shape. It's not like he's coming from a ragtag group of ruffians that he needs to, clean out their butts and brush their teeth. Like, you know what I mean?
Right. Like he's coming in with people who know what they're doing.
World class. De Bruyne, world class. Aguero, world class. Like, they're like the best of the best of the best of the best. All he needs, and Joe Hart, world class.
Yeah.
One of the greatest in the game right now. I think that he'll be good, but again, you have, where's Mourinho going next year? If he does go to Man United, that's something. What does Leicester do for round 2? They're gonna lose players. So then, how does that affect Pep? You know what I mean? Who are these relegated clubs that are coming in? Like the newly.
Yeah.
It's like
I'm actually kind of excited about some of the championship promotions. Like Burnley went right back up.
Okay.
Watford held on.
Yeah.
They're like Watford and Bournemouth finished mid-table.
Really?
They did. Well, Bournemouth Watford are like, I think 13th. Bournemouth are 16th. Norwich and Newcastle are officially relegated as of today. That would be Wednesday the 11th.
So who else is battling? Like the villains, Aston Villa?
They were relegated last month.
Oh, so those were the other teams.
Yeah, they have Aston Villa have 17 points.
Yeah, so I'm saying like the villains.
Yeah, the villains. I don't even know.
Who's even on that team? I can't.
Brad
Tom
Guzan.
Cleverley.
Brad Guzan is their goalkeeper.
They have a goalkeeper.
They don't
Couldn't
have.
tell.
They don't have. No, it's kind of hard to tell.
There's no one even
After
there.
you lose 6-0 to Liverpool at home.
Ugh.
I'm amazed that they still have fans. They're like I was following some of the vlogs.
That's why soccer means so much.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like people don't walk away. People
That
are
patch.
like, yeah, people exactly. People are like, okay, you need to lose your job. You need to lose your job.
Get outta here.
Everyone on the field, like I've seen videos where they're like chanting at him, "You're not fit to wear that shirt."
Yeah.
Like, that's real. That is like, and that was like one of the big things. They're like, no one just cares. No one cares about the club.
Well, I mean, they're turning a profit. I'm sure, just like all other major sports, no matter how small the market is, there's a gain made just by being there. So a lot of these guys, they basically just, like, you get money for just being in the Champions League.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's why, like, Arsene Wenger was able to keep his job. Like, just being there, you get money. So
Right.
these guys, they don't give a shit if they win or not. So you get a bonus if you keep, and I'm talking about the higher ups. Why would they go spend that extra $2 million they just made for qualifying for the Premier League on something when they could invest that in whatever their stock portfolio?
Sure.
Like, you know what I mean? That type of shit.
Yeah, absolutely. So, do you think? And then let's get out. I've really enjoyed this conversation. We should come like next Premier League season.
Hell yeah.
We should do like a semi-regular thing.
I agree with you.
That would be
talk
fun.
Soccer all the time.
Yeah, I would dig that because my girlfriend needs a break from me talking about soccer. So, and if I could funnel that away.
Oh hell yeah.
That would be good.
Anything to
Man.
break up a happy home.
I appreciate you doing this, man.
No doubt. It was a lot of fun.
Absolutely, and hopefully, we'll get you back on again.
I will be. Take care of yourselves, everybody.
All right, thank you. Okay, folks, that's our show. Thank you again, as always, for listening. If you want to see any of my future stand-up dates, again, I'm going to be doing my one-man storytelling show, Laughing Through the Sad, at the People's Improv Theater June 9th. Check the description for tickets for $5. I'm also going to be at the Creek in the Cave this Saturday at 6 p.m. as part of Grant Lindahl's The 8 Project. That is a free show, so feel free to come out. And I'm going to try to become a little bit more well-versed in the history of the Premier League, because talking to Momoh made me realize, again, I probably initially bet on the wrong horse when it came to Chelsea FC. And we'll see if I can without being too much of a glory hog, find another Premier League club that is as interesting for me personally. So thank you for listening, and I will see you next week between Awesome and Disaster. Take care.